Good morning, friends. It's Saturday. I wanted to stop everything I was doing and get just a word off to you. I was going to do that yesterday, but I ended up for a little while having Carly and Coda and Cashton and Carter. Did I say Carly? Okay, I had four of them youngins yesterday. And I'm tell you what, those two, Carly and Carter, fought over the tutus and the shoes. So I ordered this little set from Amazon. It came with three tutus, three pair of shoes, little heels to match the tutus, and then a little crown. Well, they've done broke two of the crowns. So they were fighting over the third crown, and I said, no one's going to have a crown. So that was okay. So then Carly I could hear her telling Carter, I want to be different. I want to wear blue tutu and pink shoes. So then I had to tell Carter how fun that would be if she would be different too. So she wore a pink shoe and a purple shoe. So anyway, evidently they were having an I be different day, but they were cute. But once they got over arguing over the, I think they both wanted the pink tutu. I'm not even for sure how it started, but it was pretty funny. And of course, I'll tell you something else. I hope Breezy doesn't watch this. The other day, Breeze called and she said, Carter wants to come over and play. And I said, that's fine, send her over. So then I told Coda, I said, oh, Carter's going to come over and play with y'all. Y'all going to have a fun time. She goes, no, I want Bubba. So I thought, oh my goodness, because Coda and Cash didn't get along so good. But Carter and Coda don't get along too good because I think Carter still sees Coda as a baby, even though she towers above her. But she knows she's baby still in her mind, so she wants to kind of mother her. And Coda's over that. She gets enough of that from Carly. So anyway, we had an awesome day yesterday, and Jill picked him up kind of early because we didn't know how the roads were going to get with the flooding. But all the river's gone down from the side of the house, and in the back you can see it's still behind the house, but you can see the grass up on the hill. So it's slowly going down. So I wasn't too worried because we see it do this all the time. Where it hasn't stopped coming up and just comes right in the house. We've only had that twice in our 65 years of marriage. We've not been our 57 years of marriage. We've only had that twice. So that's not too bad for almost 60 years having the river in your house two times. One time it was just maybe like 6 inches deep, and the other time it was about 4 foot deep. So makes a lot of difference in the cleanup. But that's been a while back, and it's just a memory that we can talk about now. For a while, it was hard. You couldn't even think about it without going into this, this depression kind of thing. But I think Papa and I have overcome a lot. We've had a house fire and 2 floods. So I don't know. I just praise God that we managed to struggle through all of those, and no one was hurt, and we build again and start our life again. So that's awesome. I heard something on the radio. I got up early and I went just to Cleveland to pick up our grocery order I had turned in. And guys, the main reason I turned in a small grocery order was so I could get carpet shampoo and dog treats. And since we don't have Heidi know what's in the dog treats anymore, but anyway, that's beside the point. I was sure I ordered 2 bags of the little bacon bites, the little minis, and a big bottle of carpet shampoo. And I got everything put away, and I went to the washroom. I thought maybe Papa had put that away. And then I said, honey, did you put away the carpet shampoo? And he goes, I didn't see any, just the Tide that you took in there. And I said, oh no, oops, there went my glasses. So I looked on the grocery order, and no, I didn't order carpet shampoo. So then Bandit kept following me around. So I thought, well, let me get him off my back and give him a treat and get out of the way so I can go ahead and get the rest of my stuff done. I didn't get the bacon treats. And I'm thinking, what? That's the 2 main things, 2 main reasons I put in a grocery order and just ran to Cleveland so I could get back and get started. I've shampooed all the carpets in the house except for the little girl's room. And I don't let the puppy, well, I say I don't let the puppy in there. We keep the gate closed, but he goes right through the little slots. So he's a really, really sweet boy, and trying to keep him on the puppy pads. But now, you know, he likes to go out. When I say, come on, boys, he comes to the door and runs out too. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just train him to outside. Anyway, we don't know how we're going to go with that. But I have no bacon bites for the dogs, and I have no carpet shampoo, so I can't shampoo the girls' room. So I thought, boy. So I sat down and I ordered it from Amazon, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow. So maybe sometime, even if it's tomorrow night, Sunday night, I can get the girls' carpet shampooed before they come back on Monday. I can do all the rest of the house while they're here, and I have a new carpet shampooer. So I gave Jill and Dustin my old one, and I love it. It weighs a little bit less. And the bottle on top is small, I think a little bit smaller. So I can use 3 bottles on top before my bottom has sucked it all up. So I really like that about it. And it's real easy to take off and put on and replace. And I just love it. And I thought, well, this time I kind of had fun doing the carpets. It was real easy to maneuver and everything. So maybe that won't be something that, oh, and Kim bought me the green machine, although it's not a green machine. But so well, Cashton loves those protein drinks, and I don't like to give them to him because it is too much protein. But what I do is put a tiny bit of the protein drink and then fill it with milk and shake it up, and it makes a good chocolate milk for him. But I don't know, somehow I got the lid not on there right, and when he went to take a drink, it just went all down the front of it and all over the carpet. So I have that little, I'm going to call it the green machine, although it's not a green machine. It costs about 1/3 of what the green machines cost, but it works awesome. And I was able to pick up all that chocolate, and you could not even tell. But another thing that the kids did in their room, which is probably my fault, is, okay, it's real weird how the kids are different, because Carter wants chocolate. Coda wants chocolate. But Carly's not so much onto chocolate. She likes more of just candy. So she loves the Skittles. But the last time I got Skittles, well, Coda basically will eat anything. But Carter doesn't. She just chews them until they get sticky, and then she would just put them on the floor. And I guess she thought the dog would eat them. But after that happened, and then they played in there all day, I found I had Skittles stuck in the carpet. I'm sure I'm not the only person that's ever had Skittles stuck in their carpet, but it just seemed funny of me to say I like that. Anyway, the last time I shampooed, I was able to get all those Skittles sticky things up. So I don't know what happened this time, but now there's yogurt on the floor. And I couldn't get the yogurt up. So I cleaned it as best I could, and then I thought, well, I'll just let this dry. And then the vacuum will pick it right up. But the vacuum didn't. So I have 2 spots on the floor in there still in the girls' room, or I'll say in the playroom, where I have yogurt stuck to the floor. And after it dried and I realized I couldn't get it out, I smelt, but it didn't smell bad. It's not like it's soured or anything like that. So, all right, I'm going to tell y'all something funny that I did. And Kim laughed and laughed. And I don't think it had anything to do with a senior moment. It was just, okay, I saw these really cute blouses on QVC. And I thought, oh my goodness, you know, and those were marked down. And I think, I'm going to get that one in a black. And I was real excited. And so I put in my password. And I said, Kimberly, Kimberli. And it read, wrong password. So I said, oh, because the question was that, it's you know how they ask us a security question? And it said, what is the name of your oldest child? So I was sure I put Kimberly. But then I thought, no, okay, it didn't take it. I must have just put Kim. So then I wrote in Kim, submit, red letters. You have answered the wrong question, or you have answered the question wrong. So I sat there for a minute and I'm thinking, let me see, isn't Kim my oldest child? I have Kim, and then for a minute, I realized, oh my Lord, I am trying to, this QVC's messed me up so much that I'm trying to think, yes, Kim's the oldest child, or is and it's like I literally lost my mind for a minute, and I'm thinking, yes, this stupid Brenda, Kim is your oldest child. So then I called Kim and I told her. She started laughing. She said, Mom, maybe they self-corrected it and put a Y instead of the I, because I spell her name Kimberli. And that was just in case she ever wanted to try to be Miss America or something. She would have this fancy spelling in her name. Anyway, so by that point, I was so off of that black shirt from QVC. It made me think I didn't even know who my oldest child was. And I don't know if y'all do that or not, but I know that when you see me wanting to say all the grandkids' names, I have to go slow and like think so that I will get them all right, because there are just too many and I don't know if Dustin and Jill ever have another one and it's a boy. I hope they name it Jet or something that's, I don't know why I said Jet. That just seems easy to remember. Something is not a K word. Let it be any word but a K. Because I can't remember any more K words, or they're not K's, they're C's. K. So I can't remember any more of those. So everybody, if they have more babies, they're just going to have to go with something rather than a K. So, you know, Jacob has 4 names because Daniel wanted to name him Eugene. And Jean wanted to put Emery, wanted to name him Jacob Emery, because that's what his daddy was. So Jacob ended up with the name on his birth certificate, because Jacob Eugene Emery Morrow. So he has 4 names. So that's kind of cute. And I guess you know that they're going to get married tomorrow, and it's going to be live. So Lou said maybe we could all have a watch party or something. Tomorrow for lunch, we're going to Tina's, because it's going to be Elijah's birthday lunch. Rob's going to make etouffee, and how I love etouffee. Sometimes in the wintry months, you can get etouffee at Popeye's Chicken. But I haven't even gone there and tried to get it. I guess y'all hear the little goats. I came in with when I got ready to go get my groceries this morning, I got in my car, but it said all 4 of my tires needed air. And I know that happens sometimes when it's cold, but it wasn't extremely cold, but it has been extremely cold. So I went and asked Papa, I said, do you want to check the tires or do you want me just to take the van? And he said, just take the van. Oh, and I just enjoy driving the van. You know, it's bigger, and I feel like I'm as big as everybody else because it sits taller, and I just had a really good time driving it. But when we got home, Papa was feeding, so I backed up so we could wheelbarrow everything to the back patio because that makes it easier than making 100 trips and then coming down the porch. Or even when you back up here, sometimes he does that. Then you have to lift the bags over, and sometimes they're heavy and I can't lift them over. Anyway, back to the point. I backed up in the under the carport and raced up the back. Oh my Lord, here come those two goats. Right up into the back, all over the groceries, and I'm yelling, my eggs and my bread. And so Papa got there and he said, shoo, shoo, get down, goats. Anyway, we managed to keep them out of the back of the car while we got everything into the wheelbarrow, and then they were jumping into the wheelbarrow. Goats are adorable, the way they jump, the way they twist, the way they follow you and love on you, but there's some times when you just don't need them around. Now, I'll tell y'all this story. We used to have this goat called Hugo, and he was just a yard goat, and I couldn't have roses, and my grandmother, bless her heart, she always wanted me to have roses because I've always loved roses. I got a little rose tattooed on my leg. I don't know if y'all know it or not. Anyway, guys, when my roses would start to bloom, this darned old Hugo, he'd, you know, just nibble them off. And it's going to make me cry a little bit now that I think about it. My grandmother would send me a $10 check. And at the bottom, the purpose for Tyler roses. Because back then, you could order roses. I guess you can still order them. But she would send me $10, and that was for five Tyler roses. And I don't know. She was probably so disappointed with me. But, you know, the kids loved that goat. And to this day, I don't have a Tyler rose. But anyway, it had to disappoint my mama when she'd come and there were no roses, and she'd go back home, send me a $10 check for Tyler roses, and I would buy the Tyler roses, and I would plant them, and I would do. Back then, you know, we didn't have like fences everywhere, like we didn't have a pen to stick the darn goats in and stuff like that. Anyway, Hugo was horrible, but when we met Buddy's daddy's parents for the first time. It's a beautiful summery day, and we did a big barbecue. We had the table, the picnic table, you know, just draped pretty with lace tablecloth. And I always felt maybe they were a little more city. I'm not going to say uppity. Because we've never been uppity, but I just thought they were a little more, had maybe a little more money, and they lived in a nice big house in Conroe. And anyway, Buddy had really never met his grandpa, so we planned this big thing, and his grandpa was coming over, and Robert was going to be here, and it was just a big thing. So right as we get to the table and we're starting to pray, here comes that Hugo goat, and he jumps on that table, and his foot goes right through this white cake that Kim had made. Oh, what? Really, what do you say? What do you say? We never expected that goat to do that, but there we were. And it was, you know, all my kids, and Kim was the only one married then. And it was Robert, and Robert's mother, and Robert's dad, and then Robert's grandparents, which would have been Shirley's, Shirley's ex-husband. Anyway, guys, the goat foot went through the cake, and it's so not funny now. And the embarrassment that I felt, and the anger I felt at Gene for not pinning that goat up. And then you have to know Pawpaw, but he says, I did pin the goat up. And I'm thinking, you know, if you would pin him up correctly rather than pinning up in half a fence, then maybe stuff like that wouldn't happen. Anyway, guys, I guess that gives us a good memory and a good laugh, but it was not good at the time. So, that's that. I hope y'all think that's as funny as I did, because looking back, it was the most. And then the goat just stands there. Anyway, Gene picked him up, and there's frosting and cake all over his leg, but his name was Hugo. But we've always had a goat. We've always had a pet goat for the kids. It's something that I grew up with, so I love the goats. My goat was called Billy Joe. And they got him from, my mom and dad got him from my birthday. I loved that goat. And I would run from him, and he would do that sideways jumping. And I would run through the back of my daddy's pickup truck up on the roof, thinking I was safe. He'd go in that pickup truck and up on the roof with me, and I'd be running and laughing and peeing all over myself. I don't know. I think I got him when I was about 7 years old. Then, I don't know. I can tell you the bad ending to poor Billy Joe. My daddy butchered him. He told me it was a deer. Me and mom took me to get my hair fixed. And I said, well, I hear Billy Joe crying. I have to go let him. He must be hung up on something, because he wore a little bell. And Dad said, no, don't go get him. I'll go check on him for you. Go ahead with your mom and have a good day. So we did. We got our hair fixed, and maybe did a little shopping. It was horrible. We come back, and my dad said, I killed a deer. And here he had this deer. It was my goat, laying out on the table. And immediately my mind, and I started screaming, Billy Joe. Oh, guys, I thought I was going to absolutely die. And I would never do that to my kids. And I'm thinking, that must be what, it must have damaged me for my whole life. And then they laughed. Would you stop that? This little guy's biting my feet. And then they laughed at me because I ate it. Well, you know, you're a kid, 10 years old, had that goat for 3 or 4 years. Then now he's cooked, he's barbecued, and everybody's eating him, and I ate him too. Anyway, every time I would bring that up to Mom and Dad, Dad would say, well, you sure didn't mind eating him. Well, yeah, it was dinner. Oh, but that was horrible. And I'd never do anything like that to my kids. But I will tell you what we did to Kim one time. How long have I talked? 24 minutes. Oh, my goodness. All right, this is the last story I'm going to share. I don't know what's going through my mind with all these stories today. But Kim had this beautiful cat. I think she called him Man. We had him neutered and everything. But this is gross, and I'm embarrassed to say it, but he would pee on our stove. And, every night. And we'd try to keep him out at night, and then he would end up during the day. And, you have an electric stove, and it has that little cup underneath it so stuff doesn't go down. And it would be full of cat pee. Now, I know that is gross, So, Jean drove around the church loop and made Kim put her cat out. We dumped him, guys. That's been probably 40 years ago. Kim was about 10. And she come back crying. And immediately I thought of Billy Joe. And I thought, I've done the same thing to Kim that we did to Billy Joe. Anyway, we took her back and got her cat, and I would just chase him with the broom. Every time he come near the door, we'd chase him with the broom. So, I don't know, that eased her up a little bit. And I said, you know, you can love him outside, but this is nasty. And she realized that too. So she didn't give me a fight. She got her cat back. She couldn't sleep with him anymore. That was just not going to happen. And he lived for a long, long time. I don't even know how long. Anyway, we have always had animals for the kids. If they wanted a dog, have a dog. If they wanted a cat, have a cat. It never really bothered me, and I didn't care if they had them in the house. But we've always leaned toward Chihuahuas. Anytime I could get my hands on something that was part Chihuahua, I'd bring it home to the kids. So I guess Chihuahuas just in my blood, because that's what my grandparents had, my uncles and aunts. We just always had Chihuahuas. So now I have little Buster. And the other day he was biting my feet so bad, and I said, "Bugger!" And then I realized, "Bugger!" And Gene was laughing at me. He said, "Try Buster." I was calling that dog every B word I could think of. And he said, "That's not why he stopped biting you. You was calling him by his wrong name." But that's what I did. I yelled booger, and I yelled, and bugger, and oh yeah, Buster. So I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it, guys. Maybe it's I hope it's just a Gigi thing and not one of those what they call a senior moment, because I have a lot of things that are qualified as senior moments. So I'm sitting in a different location so y'all can see everything behind me. I am going to try to turn the camera around just for a minute. Don't get mad at me. I want you to look at all my 4 o'clocks. They're dead of doodles. And that's one of Bennett's jobs when he finally comes downstairs, is he's going to cut all those back. And he said, well, will they grow back? And I said, yeah, they'll start coming back in the spring, and it'll be double what it is right now. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I've got him tied up, so I'm going to snip the strings, and all he'll have to do is cut them at the bottom. I told him not to pull them up, because if you pull them up, as much rain as we have, the bulb might come too. But every place I planted one bulb, it'll probably have 4 on them by next year. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go, and since I can't shampoo the carpets, and my house is very, very clean, I mopped with a little bit of Fabuloso along with the wax Foreshine that I use, and the house just smells so good. And that's one of the reasons I decided to come outside, because it was a little too Fabuloso-y for me. So it should have time to die down a little now before I go back in. But I started watching a new series, and it is on BritBox, because you all know I love BritBox. And this is just called Lewis. And he's a detective, and I just love it. And there's not been one cuss word. I know if you ever watch an interview with like Adele, I love Adele, but I do not watch her interviews, because if they don't bleep them, then the F word is every 3rd word. And it used to be that way with the Beatles too, and they bleep, 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 bleep. So then you actually lose track of what they're trying to say in the interview. So I love Adele, but it's sometimes if they're not going to bleep, it's better not to listen, because you don't know what you'll hear. But BritBox, no bad words. And the last 2 episodes that Gina and I watched, we could not figure it out, what was going on. So it's really, really good. So I'm thinking I'll just go in there and make me a sandwich and curl up with my blanket. And I want to thank somebody that sent me something made from goat milk. I don't know what it is. I'm going to look at it. And Gene will bring me things in, guys, and he doesn't tell me who sent them. So I don't know who to thank for things that I get. Y'all sent me a lot of earrings. I'm not wearing any earrings right now because I got up so early and went to Walmart so early so I could shampoo the carpets. But he never tells me who sent stuff. But I'm not going to do it now because I've already talked for too long. But I will show you this little white bottle because it puffs up my eyes so well. And I'm not going to get close so you can see that. You just have to take my word for it. But I don't know how much it costs, but it's a cool bottle. It's fairly big size, and the stuff is thick. So I've been using it as my under eye treatment in the mornings before I put my makeup on. This day I don't have on that Laura Geller stuff. I went back to my old stuff. So anyway, guys, I am gonna go and thank you for y'all sent so many Heidi blankets, and so good to Lex with he got a couple of gaming blankets, and y'all were just so good to us at Christmas. But I can't call your name because I don't know. He does it on gifts and goodies, and even if it says Gigi and Papa, he doesn't bring it in. He uses it for his goodies. And every card, all the Christmas cards, don't open that. I want to do it on my video. So I don't even know who sent us Christmas cards or sent me things. I do think Dorothy sent me a beautiful cherub bag. I love bags, and I can carry this cherub bag. Like if I do children's church, I can put everything in it. It fits in this bag. And I do think she sent that because she asked me, did I get it? So, and yes, I did, and I love it. And also a little bunting for the girls' dolls. I think that's what you call it, a bunting. But unless somebody says, did you get such and such? Did you get, I don't know. I don't know. Also, I haven't answered a lot of comments because I thought Bree was going to have to reset my phone or something. But guys, I did it myself. And I was so proud of me because I did it all myself. And so now, because it started sending all my comments to my email, and then they come up about this small. And even with my glasses on, I couldn't read them and I couldn't make them bigger. And then, but it didn't send, it wasn't Gmail because my Gmail was gone. So they were sending it to something called mail. It's crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's me. You know, I say, well, I got hacked. Well, I did get hacked. But now I'm so scared of everything that maybe I did something and switched it around. But what if I did, I got it back. So I might go do some comments before I watch another episode of that movie called Lewis. But, okay, guys, I love you so much. Have a great Saturday if you can. We have no sun shining here, so I'm not going to call it a happy day to be outside because it's not. It's cool. Well, it's not too cool to sit outside because I have on no jacket. And I did get a little warm in the house. I was cleaning. But have a good Saturday. Find something to talk to God about. Even if you want to tell him how much you're hurting, then tell him. He listens, I promise. And find a church tomorrow. If not, find one online. You can go to our church online, but and our pastor is awesome. But Plum Grove Assembly of God, I guess .com, but it's on Facebook Live. So, all right, guys, I love you. I am really, really, really gonna go now, and y'all have a great rest of the weekend. Bye.